Wake Up West Palm, where we talk all things downtown West Palm Beach, and you get to meet some of the incredible people and businesses in our beautiful community. Today, I am joined by Danielle Casey, the co-founder and creative director for 1909.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited about this conversation. What you do is so incredible for entrepreneurs here in West Palm Beach.
Thank you.
So tell us, what is 1909?
Yeah, so 1909 is a nonprofit organization and members-only community dedicated to the sustainable success of early-stage entrepreneurs, creative freelancers, and startup businesses right here in Palm Beach County. We offer workspace, mentorship, business education, but most of all, community, just to help everyone here that's bringing new ideas into the world, and they want to make a difference and a better tomorrow for themselves, their families, our community, and the world.
So explain that a little bit further, right? Like that's like kind of like high level, there's entrepreneurs out there that need assistance, they need support, help. Yeah. Who are your members?
Yeah, so I mean, back in 2012, when I started my first business here in Palm Beach County, I realized there's just such a need for all the critical resources. Entrepreneurship is so challenging and it's incredibly isolating. So we just wanted a one-stop shop where you can kind of come in and get all the resources you need under one roof. So you pay a membership fee, but you get access to 24/7 beautiful workspace, business education, mentorship, and there's all different programs that you can go through and help your business. Either you're at the ideator stage or you're just doodling your idea on a napkin. Maybe you've been in business for a few years and you have revenue, or you're really looking to scale and exit. We offer those programs for all those tiers for everyone.
So you had a design business.
Yes.
How did you transform from being an entrepreneur, having this design business, to now running 1909?
Yeah, so it's kind of a crazy, my story growing up, I remember I actually have I'm in the newspaper when I was 10 years old writing a letter to my town council about how we needed a community center for teens that don't play sports. And then when I went to college, I graduated in psychology. I actually worked at a prison doing group counseling. So when I look back at the fold, I'm like, you know what? There was just a lot of threads with just creating opportunity and also being really community activation, was a big thing and passion of mine. So starting 1909, I was just like, this is kind of taking both my passions, creating opportunity for people who I believe deserve it and created a lot of value here in Palm Beach County, but also community building. We all get to come together. We get to go through the ups and downs and challenges of entrepreneurship together. And it's been inspiring watching what we've been able to do for 6 years. But going back to the design, we started this in 2012 here in a landscape where there wasn't a lot going on for the creative community. There was not going on for the tech community. But we were able to sort of start to see all the creatives and the e-commerce stores and retail stores who were doing big things in Palm Beach County, but without opportunities to sell and to get together and get those types of resources that they need to succeed and stay here in Palm Beach County without having to leave to bigger and better markets. So we're like, hey, we see all this happening. How can we kind of channel this energy and watch this paradigm shift happening here in West Palm particularly, and gather this and make it easier for them to not only succeed, but sustain their businesses long-term here. So yeah, I know.
And when did you open?
We opened in 2018.
All right. Now, 1909, I didn't realize how you guys came up with the name.
Yeah.
Tell us how.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I know. So Palm Beach County was founded in 1909, and we just believe that now is the time to be the founder of something yourself, whether it's an idea, a way of life, a new business idea, whatever it is. We just wanted to pay some homage to, we had great founders here in the early 1900s. I mean, if you look around the room and we're looking at all the history of West Palm, and it's amazing what this county has done and where we've gone and come, and we're so proud to be here in West Palm and Palm Beach County. So we wanted to give a little nod to our past.
Yeah, it's so interesting because we get to talk to so many, obviously, business owners and people that are collaborating with other people in the community, and everyone kind of goes back to years ago. It was just obviously it's not what it is today. And so some people have really been here for such a long time and seen how people have been able to collaborate and what we've been able to build. And so
it's amazing.
To be part of it is really cool. And entrepreneurs, they are
our future.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So talk about some of the members that you have. What stages is there? I know you said all different stages, but are more people in the startup phase, or when did they come to you?
Yeah, I definitely think that we cater to the early stage entrepreneur. So we definitely have some outliers where, they're either just starting and they're in that ideator phase, right? Where they have an idea, they don't know how to get that LLC. Then we have the ones who are actually exiting, like successfully exiting their companies, and either serial entrepreneurs where they're just starting company after company, or they're really starting to scale and go to other markets, which is great. But majority of them, I'd say, are in that like probably 0 to 100,000 in revenue phase, where it's like, that's where they kind of realize, what's the next step? How do I get the marketing needs, the legal needs? How do I find talent? Access to talent is one of our, we don't have tier 1 university here. I mean, when you look at other incubators in different areas and accelerator programs, they're usually in cities where they're very much tied to a tier 1 school, which is helping provide the talent in the ecosystem and the economic development in the area. We don't have that so much here. So when we look at it, most of the businesses going through our programs are actually hiring talent right from our workspace. So like maybe they're going through their first series and they're looking for funding, they need some additional marketing help. They literally look around 1909 and they're able to hire. And the industries that we have, it's pretty expansive. That's what's really different and sets us apart, is there's a lot of accelerators and incubators that are primarily focused on tech. But we have retail, e-commerce, we have consulting businesses, we have a lot of creative freelancers, videography, graphic designers, web designers. We have a lot of nonprofits as well, which really excites us. So watching them kind of move up and down and learn from us, and also have that like entrepreneur spirit, right? Where they're staff members, but they have to think like an entrepreneur and they're surrounded by entrepreneurs. So watching them kind of navigate that as they're, working on their nonprofits and their mission is super exciting to see every single day.
That's really cool. I love that you mentioned entrepreneurs, because I feel like that mentality is becoming a lot in the world that we live in now. There are a lot more freelancers and people that are doing things outside of the work that they're doing. And also just to be able to think entrepreneurial, because not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And like, I even consider myself, I'm definitely, a lot of people are like, oh, it's, you guys are for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. I'm like, we're for founders by founders, but really we're entrepreneurs, right? Like I'm on staff at 1909, but we have to think like an entrepreneur. We have to go through the challenges, and we've been there ourselves in the past, but absolutely the way of the world is changing. The workforce is changing. People are looking for people on staff that are thinking like an entrepreneur and are creating those, they see a challenge and they want to fix it and they want to go after it, and they thrive on things like that. So it is interesting. We say that we serve entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs, and solopreneurs.
So how are you guys, we were talking a little bit earlier about how you're funded. How does the Downtown Development Authority support you? How do you work with other collaborators? Yeah,
so obviously major donors, private donors are huge for us. A lot of people, what they don't know is we are a nonprofit 501c3. Super important to know. We survive off of the help of the community and our partners, which we are grant funded through Knight Foundation, Community Foundation, the DDA and the city have also funded us. Noteworthy would be a project that we work on. It's a micro grant project with the West Palm Beach Development Authority, where they've given us a micro grant. It's called Project 1909. It was developed actually during COVID, when a lot of the small businesses around here were reaching out for help in serious need. For example, say there's a restaurant, they had to close down. They couldn't do online ordering because they didn't have online ordering. So we stepped in and said, hey, we have 200 talented members without work right now. How can we figure out a way to get our members paid work and get this work done for our small businesses who don't have the time, energy, talent, or funds to do this? And so the DDA stepped in, the Knight Foundation as well, and they said, hey, let's develop this program. And we were able to give over 40 jobs to our talent, and also complete over, I think, $200,000 worth of work for small businesses. In less than 48 hours, we were pumping out websites, online ordering, like we changed the game. And we're so excited to partner with the DDA because they've continued to do this. So this didn't start and end in COVID. We just finished our last round, just wrapped it up actually a couple weeks ago. We were able to help 5 wonderful small businesses downtown. And that's just starting, right? Like, we hope to continue to work with partnerships and partners so that we can continue to help. There's so many more businesses in need.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And we have so much talent that it's just like, it was a win-win-win for everybody.
Yeah, and there always will be, right? I mean,
everyone needs help. Everyone's looking for work. They're looking for good partners. So yeah, that's just one thing that we do that we're so excited about, and it makes it possible with partners, so.
Yeah, for sure. Now, can you give us an example of I'm sure you have tons of success stories, all the people that you've helped, but Is there one or two that stand out that you feel like when they first came to you, they were in a place of, what do I do? Where do I go? And you were able to help and support them?
Yes. So we actually have, I will talk about a founder. Her name is Julie Walthers, and she is the
Shout
founder.
out Julie.
Shout out Julie. Hey, Julie. She's so awkward. She's probably like, oh no. We love you, Julie. She's the founder of Whole Story Studio, which is a studio that does audiobook producing. So she came here in West Palm Beach from Michigan, and she was just, I hate West Palm. I hate the weather. I don't think I'm going to stay here. It's kind of like a COVID transplant. Her husband got a job down here, and she stumbled into 1909. She found her people immediately. She ended up being our first speaker at one of our galas 2 years ago, talking about her journey. She went through our Ideator program with her business, which is it was a 12-week program to learn how to take her business to that first few next levels. Then she went through our 6-month accelerator program, where she really launched her website, the whole business plan. And this was back in 2022. And now she's actually opening, she was an audiobook recording studio without a recording studio. She had to work this out, do it from home, hire narrators remotely. And we're so excited that she's opening her first recording studio on the 3rd floor of this building in our new home. And she's going to be able to actually bring in narrators from around the country and have them record audiobooks right here in West Palm Beach, which is going to be so huge. I get tears in my eyes just thinking about her, because she's literally gone through the entire journey, and her dreams are coming true. And she's just the best human being. And she's a perfect example of what we do and why it's so important to have a community going through this journey.
I love that. I bet she likes West Palm Beach now.
We're still working on her with the weather, but yeah, she's found her people, and we have, that's one story, but we have 217 stories, and they're all equally amazing.
That's so awesome. All right. Do you want to introduce our guest?
I do want to introduce our guest. I'm going to bring up Monique Fabio, our development director at 1909.
Awesome. Hi, Monique. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's nice to be here.
All right. So what do you do at 1909?
I am the development director of 1909. So what that means is I am responsible for business development, creating strategic relationships with organizations in the business and local and broader community. And as a nonprofit, what that means is I'm also responsible for fundraising, because we need funds in order to continue to further our mission so that we can help more entrepreneurs and startup founders there. So we want to impact even more than the 217 members that we currently have, and we want to be able to do that for more entrepreneurs at different stages in every stage of their business. And so in order to do that, we need the money.
That's right.
But it's a really rewarding role. It's being part of a small team, we all really pitch in and do a lot of things, and so we are an all hands on team. But that is the main purpose and focus of my role.
Yeah, and now you came from the big apple, New York City.
I came from one of the big cities. Yes, I'm one of the many people that relocated down to West Palm Beach from New York City. I came at the beginning of 2022 with my husband, and it was very much an unplanned move. We actually came for what was only supposed to be 3 months, and we've now been here for nearly 3 years. And honestly, 1909 was a really, really big part of why we decided to stay. 1909 and kind of the broader picture of, what the organization is doing and what that means for Palm Beach County as a whole, but entrepreneurship, innovation, that's thriving here, and 1909 is at the core of that. And we had no idea that any of that was going on until we came, because my husband's a co-founder of a tech company. I was essentially employee number 1 at that company. Went all the way through Series A. When we came down here, we were still in the day-to-day operations of it. And so we were looking for a place to continue working and building our business around other people who were doing the same. And that was how we got plugged into 1909. And honestly, that was a big part of why we decided to stay. We were like, actually, it's pretty nice down here. The lifestyle obviously is amazing. And, having lived in big cities like New York City and San Francisco, I've had the opportunity to live in places like that, which I am grateful for all of that. But I was also, once we got here, we realized we were at a point in our lives where actually it's okay to slow things down a little bit while still being really ambitious when it comes to work projects and things that excite us. And so I feel like that balance is really what exists here.
You get to meet all the people. You get to meet all the entrepreneurs, all the founders.
I do meet all the people. And sometimes I don't remember that I've met all the people, and people are like, "Oh, I met you," and I'm like, "You have? Okay."
No, you just say, "Yeah, no, I remember."
Yes,
but that's cool that you. I think what's interesting, and you said this before we started filming, around not recognizing or realizing the creative community here. And to your point, it wasn't always that.
No.
And so today we do have a very creative community, and the collaboration here is one of the aspects that I love the most in all of the businesses downtown. I feel like from working with all the different businesses and then of course the DDA and being able to bring everyone together. So your role is really to help bring in those strategic partners. What makes a good strategic partner? Who are you reaching out to? Who are you having conversations with to really help support the work that you do at 1909?
Yeah, the role is definitely about identifying external organizations, businesses, organizations within the community that are very much aligned with our mission, right, and what our purpose is. And we are here to support entrepreneurs and founders and creative professionals to help them grow and have successful ventures. But with that comes running a business, right? And not everyone who starts a business actually knows how to do that. And so in my role, I'm working to identify, partners and people who we can lean on for their expertise and support. And that's where we oftentimes find a lot of our mentors. So we have mentors who work at larger financial institutions and corporations in the community, but they see the value of supporting entrepreneurs, of supporting innovation. They see the value of that to the economic development of the community. It makes it more attractive for them as a company to attract talent. If they're attracting people who are like, "Oh wait, there's a path for my kids who are going to school here that then have interesting work opportunities," right? And so it's all kind of helping to make it just a much more vibrant business ecosystem. And so we do lean on a lot of the larger organizations here because they want to support innovation, right? And it's interesting for them as well to get involved with what they're doing. And we often find mentors and volunteers who want to help out with hackathon weekends, or they want to help do a mini workshop because they get excited when they come into our space. They hear these really cool ideas and they want to be a part and just even be a very small part of that entrepreneur's journey of helping them get to that next step that's going to keep them on the path to growing and having a sustainable business.
Tell us about the hackathon weekend, because I think that's such a cool concept.
Yes. So it's actually called Collab Weekend, but it's essentially like hackathon. That's what more people would probably recognize in terms of what the event is like. But it's a 2-day weekend where it's our accelerator program participants, our 6-month accelerators, and our top founders in that program identify a business challenge or a project that they really want to tackle that's going to move the needle for their business. And so we take those founders and their businesses, and we actually have volunteers from the local business community and just local community, whether it's creatives, anyone that has a skill set that we need, and we pair them and team them up with that founders.
There's so much to be said about spending 2 days really focused like that, right? Because we can get really caught up in the work.
Yeah.
And so we drag things out, we create deadlines.
Oh my gosh.
No,
you don't have time for that.
Yeah.
You got to get it done.
And especially when it's something that you don't normally work on.
Yes.
Like, how fun is that to be able to go in and not worry about your own business, but you get to do somebody else's for 2 days. Like, it's actually like, it's more rewarding, I feel like, for the volunteer. I mean, granted, these participants get like over $250,000 worth of work in a weekend, but it's very rewarding for the volunteers.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's an inspirational weekend for sure.
That's really cool. So if somebody's thinking, two things. One, how can people become a mentor?
So if you go on our site, there's a page about applying and learning how to sign up to be a mentor. And we ensure that everyone that wants a mentor kind of understands the guidelines and the purpose of it, right? It's there, you're helping a founder, in their own journny. And so we just—
How important is that in building a business?
It's super important. You need the person there to tell you what to do, what not to do, and what to do. And been I've been there. I understand where you're at right now, and don't make the same mistakes as me. Or a mentor can also be someone who's from has an area of expertise that person desperately needs. They're I need to build out a financial model for my business. How do I do that? Here's an Excel spreadsheet. Help me. And that's where a mentor can also really step in and just help keep you on track and just give you the guidance and support that you need as you're going through your journey. So when we pair mentors in our programs, we are really intentional on understanding what their needs are and finding the right fit for them. And it's not always a match of industry or personality. It's like, what do you need help with and who is best suited to help you with that? And that's how our mentor pairing works.
What else do we need to know about 929? Is there something that you're thinking, I wish more people knew about 1909? I cannot leave this episode without saying it.
Yeah, I think, the big thing is knowing that we're a nonprofit, we're here for all stages of entrepreneurs, freelancers, and that we're really trying to change the landscape of West Palm Beach. We're hoping in the next decade that, there's leaders in place who truly do innovate. They take action on innovation. They take action on providing opportunity for everybody. And like Monique said, we really do believe that the value here has been created by the creatives, the entrepreneurs, the intrapreneurs, the freelancers. We just hope that there continues to be great opportunity for them. And people know that we're here to help and we're here to get other corporations involved in our programs. Sponsors, anything? Monique, anything else?
Funding. We need funding.
Money. Yeah, definitely the money. And it's, that's one piece of it. But essentially, we want to be able to impact more entrepreneurs, right? And it's honestly not just impacting the entrepreneurs and their business, but it's impacting the entire community here because it's making Palm Beach County that much more desirable to move to create business, to create opportunity because we're facilitating that.
Collaboration, creativity, community, entrepreneurship.
Yes.
All right, well, it has been such a pleasure.
It's been so nice.
This is so awesome. Thank you so much. Danielle, Monique, thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.